All right, how's everybody doing today? Steve here from Blossom Racing, and going to bring you a video on unboxing a Mychron 5660. Later videos, I'll do other videos where I actually get into installing it and operating it and setting up the Mychron for operation. So stay tuned, subscribe, and like my channel. That way you'll get all the updates when I post them. So let's dive right into this video. So here's what you receive when you order a Mychron tach. You get this nice box and a bracket with our emblem lasered on it. That is what you are going to receive. So let's dive right into this. So we're just going to open up the box here. And push it right out of the sleeve. Yeah, perfect. All right, let's get this baby open. So when you open the box, here's what you're going to get. A couple AIM stickers. Some instructions here with the code right there. Open that baby up, and right off the get-go, you are going to see the main unit of the tach. There's the main unit. It's going to come with your nut, a metal washer, and then 3 vibration rubberized washers. This cable right here that is just kind of hooked into this little plastic tab, that is your RPM wire. Okay, so there's the main tach. Set that aside. Pull this box out and open it up. Put that to the side. So here's the little box inside that you're going to receive. The first little unit that we're going to pull out, this is the battery. Let's pull out the charger portion of it. This cable. So simply this just plugs into here. And then this end will plug into your charging unit, which you get right in this little box right here. There's the charging unit. Slide your USB in there. You're ready to plug that in. This is magnetized. So it simply just, you can see all the prongs right there. Put it in like that. Plug this into your wall and let that baby charge. Some lights light up on the battery, I believe. Nope, right here. Right on the back of the charger, there's a light indicator right there. That's what will tell you when this battery is fully charged. When it's fully charged, you simply just put it right on the tach, on the back side of the tach. Set it right down in there, and then just lightly snug up these Phillips head screws right there. Once those are all snugged up, as you'll see, it is starting to power on. And there's what it looks like when it's powered on. And we will get to the rest of this in a later video on how to set it up. All right, so we'll set the battery, the charger, and the unit all aside. Next one we're going to pull out is going to be the Y cable. This is the Y cable of the tach that separates to your cylinder head temp sensor and your EGT sensor. So this end just goes into the back of the unit. Temp, which will be the very top one. So get it lined up, push it in and screw this down. And again, just finger tight, don't put any wrenches on it. And just snug it right down just like that. And these used to be marked CHT and EGT, and I don't see that. So you would have to figure that out by hooking one up. Like hook this one up to your head temp sensor, power it on, and see what it registers under. See if it registers under CHT or EGT. This is your head temp sensor right here. This end goes underneath your spark plug. And of course, this end is going to plug into there. You got some little holes right here. If you want to put some zip ties to just kind of hold that together, or you can fasten this down to something. You know, that's kind of what those holes, at least that's what we use them for. Your other one is going to be your EGT. This is your exhaust gas sensor. Now, typically, we don't run these on our car just because when you drill the hole in your exhaust pipe, it makes a weak point and it can crack it. But if you're going to run it, I mean, there's nothing wrong with running it or without running it. We don't tune off of exhaust gas temperature. We go strictly off of head temp sensor. So if you want to install the EGT sensor, no problem. Plug it into there. Now this is ready to be installed into your pipe. And how you do that is you drill a hole in the pipe. The size of the tip of this, once you take that red piece off, you got the tip right there. So just drill the size of the hole in the pipe right to that size, which, let me grab a pair of calipers. So your hole is going to be around 200, 195, somewhere in that ballpark. And then once you have that hole drilled, and we usually put it, oh gosh, about 1.5 inches, 2 inches away from the engine is where we usually put our hole for the EGT sensor. They have two options. They have this fancy little bung. And if you take and you drill a hole in your pipe that is 350, you put that down in there, and then you get somebody to come around and tack weld this to the pipe, and that's like your little bung. And then this will just simply screw down into it. Kind of a nice, clean little way to do it. Or you have this clamp, and you just drill that hole in your pipe, line up this threaded little knob right there, right over the, line that up with the hole in the pipe, and then this just simply screws right in there. And that's how you hook up your EGT sensor. Now, let's talk about the jack shaft sensor. This is your jack shaft sensor. This piece is going to get mounted onto your jack shaft. It's got a little set screw right there to clamp it down. You may want to put like a little bit of blue Loctite or a little bit of Loctite on that screw, on that set screw when you put it in, because most of the time that screw ends up backing out, falling out, and then you lose it. So you may want to put, there's two of them, one on each side. You may want to put just a little drop of blue Loctite on there just to try and keep those set screws in the unit. Here is your cable for your jack shaft sensor. And that's going to be screwed right into the back of the unit, marked lap. Same thing, just screw it in till it's snug. And then you run this end down to your jack shaft. The bad thing is you're going to have to build yourself a bracket to hold your jack shaft sensor. And easily you just take a 90-degree piece of aluminum angle iron and bolt that to like your jack shaft tower, your little support that comes off of your motor plate. Just drill a hole in the side of that, tap it, hook your 90-degree angle piece of aluminum to that, drill a hole for this to go through, and it's got 2 nuts to pinch. So once you have this mounted and you got this also mounted on your jack shaft, you'll want to get that relatively close to your jack shaft sensor. If you have it this far away, it's not going to get readings. And this is very important. This jack shaft sensor is very important to hook up because this is what activates your unit to begin recording each run. So if you don't have this jack shaft sensor hooked up, it will not record any runs for you. So make sure that you get that hooked up. And without further ado, that, my friends, is the Mychron 5660 in a nutshell. So that's unboxing it. Like I said a couple times in the video already, stay tuned, like and subscribe to my channel. The next one that I do will be hooking all this exciting technology stuff up to your car. And then after that, we will do a video on how to set up your tach when you power it on. And we'll get into reading the tach, setting it up, date, time. You got to enter your gear ratio in there, your front sprocket, your rear sprocket, and your rollout on your tire, which is basically just the circumference of your tire, which is usually for an 8x8 18 tire, usually around 54 inches or so. So, all right, guys, so like and subscribe so you'll get all my updates when new videos come out. And that is the Mychron 660 tach, Mychron 5. Y'all have a good day. Take care now.